What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben and today we are going to be taking a look at your first guitar. So you're probably going to start out with about $150 range. This is one of those guitars that is a little heavily modified. This guitar is very special to me. This was given to me by one of my best friends. This is actually his first guitar. But again, like I said, it's been modified. So as you can see, the pickups are modified and the inlays are modified. These are actually decals that I pick up from eBay, and it's from a seller called Creative Cuts Inlays. They have all kinds of different designs that you can put on your guitar. They come off without damaging them and they look super cool. Don't affect your sound at all. So if you're looking to spice up your guitar right away, you might want to check those guys out on eBay. Super awesome. But you might have something like this, or you might have something like this, which this is my Ibanez. This is my first guitar, so we'll go over both of them. But when you're picking up a guitar and you first take a look at it at the guitar store, one of the things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check all of the frets, especially if it was used. And by checking the frets, I mean you want to play every single fret, literally every single fret on the guitar. And you're going to want to do that on every single string. So I just did that on the E and we went all the way up, and of course this one is good because I've checked it and I've adjusted it, and this guitar is pretty darn good for the price point. So once you do that with all the strings, you should be good. Also take a look at what the action is. The action is what the word we use to describe how high the strings are off of the fretboard. As you can see, mine are not that high. They're pretty low. They're about as low as I can get it without getting any buzzing. And so we'll go over the setup here in just a second. And the way you adjust that is on the bridge. Like I said, we'll go over that in a second. So this is one of the guitars you might get. This is an Epiphone SG. You might be able to pick up one of those packs that comes with a bunch of starter stuff. So you're gonna wanna get your guitar, make sure that it sounds good. Another couple things you want to pick up for sure is a tuner. You're going to want a tuner. Keep in tune, check your tune every time you play a little bit. Every once in a while, give it a check. Get used to sounding and hearing, get used to hearing a perfectly in tune guitar, because you don't want to be playing out of tune. When I was younger, I didn't really tune much. The tuners were a lot clunkier. They weren't like this. This is pretty nice. I would have to actually physically get a little box and plug it in. It was a pain. So I didn't tune a lot, and because of it, my guitar was always out of tune, and that's not a good habit. So pick yourself up a tuner. I think I paid just a little under $20 for this. Super cool, super great tuner. Whoever's at your guitar shop will probably have a suggestion for you, but I would definitely suggest that you get something that clips onto your guitar, because that's been super easy and it's very convenient. Another thing you're going to want to take a look at is picks. What kind of picks do you use? What kind of picks do you like? What kind of picks are you going to try out? So usually you have three main styles. You'll have a light pick, which is like this one here. And that's basically, it's really light and you can bend it really good. I like those, but you don't get as much control. So I kind of switch between that and the mediums, which I have here. I picked this up off of eBay again. You can get yourself some custom picks on there, which is really cool. And then I don't really use the heavies. Some of my buddies do. You also have these specialty picks, where this one will have like some grip on there. The grip kind of comes off after a while, but for a while it's pretty good, especially if you get sweaty. It's a little nice to have. You have these other specialty picks that have the grip kind of just molded into the pick, which is nice. I love these. And they kind of bend wherever you hold the pick will kind of dictate how light or heavy this pick is, which is nice. And then you have some real substantial ones. They have a lot of grip on there, which if you play a lot, you're gonna probably want something like this. You could really grip it. The only thing about these is they just really don't feel as good as the mediums. These ones wear out a lot faster, this kind of style. But personally, I feel like those ones feel the best. Another thing you're going to want to think about is maybe picking up a guitar kit. This right here has just about everything that you need. Let's say you're at practice and you break a string, you're gonna have strings in there. Let's say you need to remember something, write it down, get yourself some paper, put it in there. Got a pen here with a little light, and that's in case, you know, I'm getting into the nooks and crannies of the guitar. You got yourself a screwdriver, and that doubles as a flathead or a Phillips. You're gonna want that because not all guitars are the same. And then Allen wrenches. We've got an assorted shapes of Allen wrenches. All these fit my various guitars. Of course, you got your clipper to clip strings, winder to wind the strings. This tool here actually adjusts the truss rod, which I wouldn't suggest as a new guitarist. You might want to take it in if you need that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And an extra pencil. And I also like to put some of these guys in there just to clean up the guitar and wipe it down. Something that's not going to scratch your guitar. These are microfiber. And another thing, people don't think about this, but if you're going to be playing with a big amp and you're going to be playing with your friends, you're going to want to pick up some of these. These are earplugs. They are going to save you because if you're going to play for a long time, eventually you're going to get old. And you're not going to be able to hear nothing, especially if you haven't been protecting your ears the whole time. So pick these up. They're pretty inexpensive. Make sure you pick them up from your music store because they're going to have ones that are particularly meant for playing music. Because you can also get these, you know, soft ones that you pick up at Walmart, but the ones that are specifically made for it allow you to hear the music a little bit better. So there's different sounds that get through, whereas the ones that are just fluffy, they just kind of block out everything. So earplugs, super important. All right, so now that we got that all together, let's take a look at our guitar. Let's take a look at what it is we're gonna do to it so that it feels better when you play it. Because a lot of guitars, they're gonna have a high action, and so if you're feeling like you're doing a lot of work to get your string down to the fret, you're probably gonna wanna take a look at your action. So what you're gonna wanna do, you're going to want to come over here to your bridge, and right here on either side you have a place for a screwdriver, and these will adjust how high your strings are or the action of your guitar. And so this one right here is perfectly adjusted. I've already done all that, and what I'd like to do, of course, you can measure it out and you can get a perfect exact measurement so you know exactly where you want your strings. Me personally, I'm a little quick and dirty with it. What I do is I lower it down until the string starts buzzing on other frets, and then I'll start to slowly back it off until it stops buzzing. Sometimes you might have to give in a little bit and accept a tiny bit of buzz, like even on this guitar. You'll hear that tiny little bit. I probably can't get that out. You'll have to adjust the neck, which I wouldn't suggest as a new guitarist. I would suggest taking it in and having them do that. But having them do the entire adjustment might get a little bit pricey. Usually it costs around $100 or so. So if you want to give a go at it with your bridge, you're not going to mess anything up by adjusting your bridge. So I would say experiment with it and figure it out. It's your guitar. You'll be all right with that. So you go adjust your height, and once you get that all adjusted and it's in tune and it's sounding good, the last thing that you're going to need to know that a lot of new guitarists do not know is you want to adjust your intonation. And basically what the intonation is making sure that your string is in tune with itself. So in this video, I'm probably not going to go over exactly how to do it, but if you want to, I'll make a video in the future about it. But basically you're going to go down here to your bridge, and you'll see that there are some screws right underneath the strings. And if you loosen your string, you can go ahead and adjust that. And what that's going to do is that's actually going to move this part of your bridge, these little pieces, back and forth. And so you can have your guitar in tune perfectly, but if you don't have your intonation in tune, it's still going to be slightly off. So if you want your guitar to sound perfect, intonation is something you're going to want to look at. But that's after you set up your guitar entirely, everything else. So that's this guitar. And you may not have that type of bridge system. You may have something like this. So this is my first guitar. Really love this guitar. A lot of modifications again to it. I blacked out the dots and I put again this inlay up here, which is also just a decal. So that's not, I didn't buy this guitar like this. This is actually about $150 Ibanez Geo starter guitar. Once again, my first guitar. And I like rock and roll, so I got one with this trem system, which with these inexpensive guitars, this trem system is probably going to throw your guitar out of tune just about every single time that you use it. So me, I don't actually use it anymore. What I did was I went to the back and I just tightened down these springs here just a little bit, not too much, you know, so where you're getting crazy tension, but what that does is that just holds down the trem system a little bit better so that it's not coming out of tune, basically turning it into a fixed bridge. So if you're getting the trem with these inexpensive guitars, be aware that you're going to be going out of tune a lot all the time. Like I said, I was always out of tune when I was young. It's a bad habit. Don't do it. But the great thing about these bridges is you can actually adjust each individual string height, which is super sweet. So you have these places for the Allen wrenches on either side here, and that will adjust this, each individual string individually, which is super awesome. So again, what you do is you lower it down until it starts buzzing, and then you slowly back it off. If you want a higher action, go ahead and back it off more. If you want lower, you don't mind a little bit of buzzing, wherever feels good for you. Each guitarist has their own style, so whatever feels good to you, you do that. So that's this guitar, which I love. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about your first guitar and tuning it up and stuff. So take a look at your action, mess around with it a little bit. Do what feels right to you. Like I said, a lot of guitars, they're very individual. Guitars and guitarists are both individuals. So if there's something that I suggested and you think, I don't like this, change it up. Totally do something different. Find something that works for you. But anyways, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. If y'all have any questions, if there's anything I missed, please leave a comment down below. I try to get back to everybody. I don't have a lot of traffic, so I usually do get back to everybody. And if you want more content like this in the future, please subscribe and like. Thank you very much. Have a great day.